Marcus Webb runs operations for a 380-person regional logistics company outside Columbus. 6 months ago, one of his dispatch coordinators started using ChatGPT to draft customer emails. It worked so well that 3 more people picked it up. Then someone on the billing side found a use for it. Then a driver scheduling lead. By spring, Marcus had 11 people using AI tools daily in 11 slightly different ways, with no one person responsible for any of it. When his CFO asked him in a meeting, "What's our AI plan exactly?" Marcus realized he didn't have an answer. He had adoption. He didn't have a plan. That gap between AI use and an AI plan is where almost every mid-market rollout actually lives. And it's what we're digging into today.
Listen to questions.
This week's question comes from Priya. Priya is an IT manager at a 250-person healthcare services group in the Twin Cities, and she wrote in, "My leadership team keeps asking what our AI strategy is. Meanwhile, I got 3 different departments already using AI tools on their own, none of it coordinated, and I'm the one who's going to get blamed if something goes wrong. Where do I even start with a strategy document or with getting control of what's already happening?" Priya, that's not a strategy question. That's exactly the situation Marcus was in. And the honest answer is neither a strategy document nor a lockdown is where you start. You start by naming an owner and getting a real baseline, which is exactly what we're walking through today. Here's what was actually happening inside Marcus's company, and it maps to 3 of the most common ways AI adoption stalls before it scales. 1. It was treated like a document, not a decision system. At some point, Marcus had written a 1-page AI usage policy. It sat in a shared drive. Nobody was required to act on it, revisit it, or sign off on anything against it. Writing something down isn't the same as running it. A framework only works if it forces an actual decision. Advance, revise, or stop at defined points. A policy nobody opens isn't governance. It's a screenshot of good intentions. 2. No one person owned it. 11 people, 11 workflows, 0 accountable owner. That's not unusual. It's actually the default state for AI adoption in most organizations, because no single tool purchase or IT ticket triggered it. People just started, and a rollout with no named owner totally degrades the second priority shift, because everyone quietly assumes that someone else is tracking it. Nobody is. 3. There was no bounded pilot to point to. If Marcus's CFO had asked, "Show me the pilot," but there wasn't one. There was just widespread, informal use across 3 departments with no defined scope and no success metric anyone had agreed on ahead of time. You can't measure AI in customer service as a category. You can measure one specific workflow run deliberately with a clear before and after. Marcus had the first thing. He didn't have the second. None of this happened because Marcus's team picked the wrong tool. ChatGPT worked fine. The tool was never the problem. The problem was that nothing organizational existed underneath it.
AI hot tip.
Here's this week's AI hot tip. Here's a fast, practical one. If you want a real baseline on where your organization actually stands, not a guess, not a vibe, don't start by asking which tool should we use. Start by asking 4 questions across 4 areas. Who owns this and why is it happening? Where are the guardrails, and are they written down anywhere real? Where's the one workflow worth piloting first? And can the people doing the work actually use this well today? Score those 4 honestly, even informally, and you'll know more about your real AI readiness in 20 minutes than most companies know after 6 months of scattered adoption. This is exactly the distinction between technology-first and capability-first AI adoption. Technology-first starts by picking a tool and working backward to justify it. Capability-first starts with ownership, guardrails, and workflow fit, and only then picks the tool. It's slower to that first tool decision. It's far less likely to stall 6 months in, which is exactly where Marcus found himself. The AI Capability Rollout Framework runs this as 3 stage-gated phases over 90 days. Phase 1. Establish clarity in guardrails. A baseline, a named owner, and written guardrails. These cover days 1 through 30. Phase 2. A controlled pilot. One bounded workflow, real success metrics, as well as leadership sign-off before it runs, days 31 through 60. Phase 3. Measure, formalize, and scale. Rescore against the original baseline, brief leadership with real before and after numbers, and build a roadmap for the next workflow, days 61 through 90. Each phase ends in a written go or no-go. Not a vibe. Nah, it's going fine. An actual decision on the record. 1. Informal AI adoption isn't a plan, even when it's working. If you can't name the owner, you don't have a rollout, you have exposure. 2. Governance set before adoption spreads costs far less than governance written after. Every week you wait, there's more to unwind. 3. A pilot only produces a real answer when it's narrow. One workflow, one clear metric, one decision gate. Not a department-wide hope. As for Marcus, that CFO meeting turned out to be the best thing that happened to him. He didn't have an answer that day, but a week later he did. He named himself the owner, ran a readiness baseline, and picked one workflow, the dispatch emails, the one that started all this, to turn into an actual pilot. 6 months of scattered use became one 90-day decision he could defend in the next meeting. If any part of Marcus's story sounded familiar, start where he should have, with a free AI readiness score. It's a structured baseline across the same 4 pillars we just walked through, and it takes about 10 minutes. Links at AIRolloutFramework.com. And if you've got a question you're wrestling with, send it to info@AIRolloutFramework.com. I read everyone. Your question could be the next episode. I'm Steve. This is the AI Rollout Podcast. Let's roll this out the right way.